AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, CLF-C02. This is a foundational level exam for those who want to embark on a career in cloud industry and those who have little to no experience in AWS cloud. AWS recommends this exam for those who have less than 6 months exposure to AWS cloud, but at the same time they're eager to learn about AWS cloud concepts, about security and compliance in AWS cloud, about core AWS services, and of course economics of AWS cloud as to why it's better or beneficial for companies to switch from on-premise infrastructure to cloud infrastructure. The exam specifics. So the exam consists of 65 questions and 50 questions don't affect your score. It means that only 50 questions out of 65 will affect your score. However, the bad news is that you don't know which question affects your score and which does not affect your score. This means that you will have to treat each question as if it does affect your score. There are two types of questions, multiple choice and multiple response. Multiple choice questions have only one correct answer, while multiple response questions have at least two correct answers. Sometimes it can be very confusing as to which question is multiple choice and which is multiple response, and you can try and check that by trying to choose more than one answer for the question. If you can't choose the second answer, it means that this is a multiple choice question. If you can't choose more than one answer, it means that this is multiple response question. I had a near miss on my exam, and when I was reviewing the exam questions just before finishing the exam, I noticed that on some of the questions I provided only one correct answer, while these were the multiple response questions. So 2 or 3 answers could have been correct. That's why please be very attentive to this detail. There is a scale from 100 to 1000 according to which you are being graded, and you need at least 700 points to pass. There are two outcomes of the exam. Either you pass the exam or you fail the exam. The exam voucher price is $100, but you can be eligible for a discount if you're a student or if you're coming from emerging countries. For more information, go to AWS website vouchers or Pearson website. CLF-C02 version of the exam, the previous version, expires on September 23rd. So the last day to take this exam is September 23rd, 2023. There are 4 exam domains according to which you are being graded, and each exam domain has a proportional number of questions during the exam. The first domain is about cloud concepts, which comprises of 24% of the total number of questions. The second domain is security and compliance, which comprises of 30% of exam questions. The third domain is cloud technology and services, which is 34 questions of the exam. In total, AWS Cloud has more than 200 services, and this specific exam covers around 66 services throughout the exam. It doesn't mean that you will have all these 66 services on the exam, but it certainly means that you have to have the understanding of these 66 services so that whenever you see them on the exam, you can answer on the questions related to them. Domain 4 has the least amount of questions, only 12% of exam questions, and it is about billing, pricing, and support on AWS Cloud. More specific objectives of the exam can be downloaded on AWS website. I will leave the link in the description of the video, and these objectives must be downloaded and you must familiarize yourself with them, because this provides more detailed overview of each domain as to what you are expected to see on the exam. Most importantly, if you scroll down to the bottom of the document, you can see that they give a list of services that you might see on the exam, technologies and concepts. And this is basically your golden list of services that you have to be aware about. These are not only AWS services, but this is also certain definitions that you need to be aware of. For example, APIs, databases, machine learning. So machine learning is not necessarily an AWS service, but you need to be aware of this definition as a whole. And likewise, it includes the AWS services and AWS concepts. Also, it covers the AWS features and AWS sections on the website. So it's very crucial that you familiarize yourself with this document, and before starting the exam, before attempting it, just go through this list and make sure that everything you see on this list is familiar to you. You don't need to be expert in any of these technologies, but you need to be familiar with these concepts.